Robbie Wong here, and we're going to do something a little different. It's a wrap-up video where we sort of talk about the deck and other things. So this is sort of a conclusionary video to Niv-Mizzet as a commander in Brawl, and the overall feeling I get from it is incredibly powerful with a high win rate, and we'll talk about why I feel that way and what to expect from this channel and more. So I got into Magic a long time ago, like 4th edition, and I had a sizable collection and I lost it in a tragic friend divorce. One friend and his boyfriend, they broke up, and my collection got lost to the winds. So it was a little unfortunate, and we didn't have the internet back then, so there was no way for me to continue to play Magic. So I took a long hiatus, came back in Rivals of Ixalan. I played in my local game store the very last draft of Ixalan, and I got some cards, started playing again, a little bit of Commander, and so when Arena, I finally got a machine that could run Arena, I started playing it, and it just fantastic, right? Like, it's not without its issues, but being able to play Magic at the drop of a hat at any point in time has been really, really neat for me. So whenever Brawl started, I remember looking at the MTG Goldfish decks and being like, you know, I want to start playing Brawl because variety is the spice of life. So having Brawl as a format can be really entertaining, right? But I didn't know which deck I wanted to pick, and I tend to think a lot about these sort of decisions because I'm not a free-to-play Arena guy. I've put some money in the slot machine, but I try to be as free as possible. So I was looking at the Niv-Mizzet Reborn deck because Jeff Hoogland had a standard deck at one point that he was trying out. And I remember thinking that was so cool that it reached 10 deep to find just a whole bunch of cards. But I didn't know if I wanted to commit more wild cards to it. So that led me to one of the sayings, which is, watch me play, watch me risk my wild cards so that you don't have to. And the thing was, when I started looking at YouTube videos, there wasn't a whole lot of specific Brawl content. I mean, you could find a lot about Draft, you could find a lot about Constructed, you could find a lot about Commander and Modern. All of these different formats are being completely supported. So when I got to a position where I could play this more and have an opinion on it, I said, you know, let's go ahead and do this and let's sort of fill that void. So that's sort of why I started streaming, because this is something that I would like. You know, for all formats, just people play testing different decks, giving their opinion, and you can kind of see what kind of play patterns happen, what kind of decision points you get to make, and how you can pull yourself out of a scrape if you're in the thick of it. So I already briefly touched on this. This deck is incredibly powerful. There's nothing that your opponents can play that you can't respond to in one way or another. It really is more about whether or not you have that response in your hand. And because Brawl is a format where you get a free mulligan, you start at a slightly higher life total, you have a little bit more time, in my subjective opinion, you have a little bit more time than other constructed formats. So this deck, is it worth your wild cards? I think so for 2 reasons. The first one is a lot of these powerful cards you probably have in your collection if you're playing any other constructed formats. And second of all, because Niv is 5 colors, if something is in the deck that you don't have, there's probably another card like it that you can play as a replacement. Which leads me to my next thought. Cards that could be in the deck but you didn't see. So everything here is the last playlist. Is from the last playlist. I think that this 60 is a lot of fun. I think this 60 is very powerful. But there are a lot of cards in other builds I've seen that are worth discussion and why I think they should or shouldn't be in the deck. Okay, so if you wanted more counterspell / removal, Drown in the Loch is very flexible in that way. Justice Strike is a removal spell that decks use. I've seen some copies play Thief of Sanity, and I think that's an incredibly fun card. Clothis could be some graveyard removal. Oh, I guess that is one thing. There is no attacking the opponent's graveyard with this deck yet. So this might be worth discussion in that way. Atris is more card value. Vraska can be removal for small critters and grind. Death Sprout is a good removal spell that gets another card. Kenrith is incredibly powerful. So he's worth discussion. He doesn't get fetched by Niv, but he's great. I did play Enter the God Eternals. I did like playing with it. I thought the life gain was valuable, and then putting something on the board is valuable. I think I wanted to go a little bit lower. I wanted to go a little bit faster with my removal spells. Karuga can be another one of these card draws, like just pull a massive influx of cards in your hand. Nicol Bolas is removal and value. Ethereal Absolution is another one of those potential graveyard attack with Clothis, an Expansion Explosion for another Hydroid Crisis-esque card pool. I think there's no wrong way to eat this Oreo. I think if you want to play with these cards or any other cards, then you should go for it. And if you're new to Arena, all I really do is I close off all of these colors. I pull up the gold cards, and I just look and I see what they have. And I'll throw on not collected so I can see, well, do I want to spend the wild card to do that? And you can scan very quickly your collection to see if there's anything that you want to include. Just be sure that you're approaching it from, okay, so yes, these cards are sweet, but what slot are they going to take the place? Does that dilute your game plan? Does it do a similar thing but better? Or is it just a different direction that you want to take the deck in? Let's talk about the win rate. So I don't think win rate matters in terms of let me explain. Okay. Everybody wants to know the win rate. I think that's important. But I think you need to think about it a little bit differently in terms of you don't want to invest your wild cards into a pile that's just going to lose over and over and over again. That's not fun. You want to invest into something that you're going to get a lot of enjoyment out of. So I think the first priority should be, is the deck fun to play for you? Do you enjoy the play patterns? But losing inherently is not enjoyable. So what's the win rate? Can this deck pull me through if I'm trying to lose because I'm playing poorly? So we played about 20 matches on screen, and we won 80% of those matches. I will say though that all of the off-stream games I played with this deck, this deck is like 94% win rate. It is incredibly powerful. It has a very, very good late game. So again, there's no wrong way to eat this cookie. If you want to play these cards, you should probably just try it and see if it works and pull out an equivalent CMC cost. So how are we going to deal with this in the future? I am going to come back and play this periodically because new cards change the format, and I really enjoy playing this deck. So those videos will get uploaded to the appropriate playlist. If there's enough of a change, then this video will be deleted and be replaced by a subsequent video. So you just have to look for the recap video in the playlist of the Brawl deck that you're looking at. So that's what you can expect from the channel in the future. We're just going to be looking at all these different Brawl decks and see how good they are, see what kind of play patterns can exist inside of them, what strategies are there, and if those strategies and cards are for you, so that way you can better drive your wildcard decision making. So be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.